For the longest time, I would struggle with my girl, helping her with her problems, helping her with purpose, especially in times where we went through spiritual warfare, where we tried to seek God more and feel the energy of the devil attacking us. I struggled to help her. But there was one thing that helped me help her. And that was helping her find her purpose and meeting her where she is. Meeting her where she is biblical. It's something we need to do as men. Let's look at Jesus as an example. Jesus came down in human form, being God, and humbled himself. What did he do? And he didn't rule the world, right? He didn't become instantly king above everyone else. He became a servant, washing people's feet, washing his disciples' feet. He served other people and met them where they were. Think about Mary Magdalene, how he met her where she was, how even though he gave her grace and she still turned away from him eventually, but came back, he met her where she was. He didn't call her to be a saint in that moment, to be pure of heart in that moment, to wash away every bad thing she's done and wash away any future sins that she might have. He just met her where she was. That is the way we need to be as men. And that is what we're going to be talking about today. Meeting your woman where she is. There's a big difference between biblical leadership and worldly leadership. And the one difference is humility. Humility is the biggest difference when it comes to masculine Catholic leadership. Like I just talked about right now, we need to come under. We need to be a leader that's a servant. Be someone who will meet our woman where she is. It is not about us. We might want the perfect girl. We might want her to be a saint, sinless. But in reality, we all sin. Point is, we need to meet our woman where she is. I'll give you an example. I was in spiritual warfare with my girlfriend. As soon as I started this, I knew as soon as I started this, the devil would be attacking me and those closest around to me. And I tried to get her to pray, hey, pray this prayer, do that. And she was doing all of it, but there was still something wrong. And what was wrong? It was not her. It was me. I expected her to be somewhere. I expected her to be where I wanted her to be, instead of meeting her where she was. And that small distinction brought her closer to God. And is that not what we want? We don't take our money, we don't take our clothes, I don't take this watch to heaven. I only take those closest around to me. I only take my woman, if I lead her to God, with me. Nothing else. Once I was able to meet her where she is and understand her situation, and more specifically, give her a purpose, which we'll talk about in a little bit, it went from 2 weeks of spiritual warfare to an instant healing, an instant happiness, an instant joy and purpose and fullness in her life. She felt God's love in that moment. And that's what you need to give her. You need to give her God's love. Become so great in the eyes of God that people see God through you. That is what happened to me. That is a quote that I heard from a priest about 3 years ago, and it's true. You want to help her to see God. Be the person God works through. Be the man God can trust with his daughter. One mindset shift that helped me help my woman feel God's love is reminding her she's perfectly made in the image of God. So perfectly made. But also, it's okay where she is. God wants her to be where she is for a reason. Think about all our shows. Think about that one show you've had for a very, very long time. And you know the one I'm talking about. You know God is great. You know he can take it away in the snap of his fingers, instantly. But why does he not do it? Because he wants us to seek him in those moments. He wants us to seek us. He wants us to draw closer. Think about your life if he just took it away instantly. You would have faith. Sure, you would probably believe in God more. But how would your prayer life be? How would your dependence on him be? Compared to if he let you struggle with it, if he let you continue coming back to him over and over and over again. That's what helped me. Helped me realize that the reason why he doesn't take away some of my deepest struggles is because he wants me to come back to him. He wants me to pray in such a deep way and have this testimony for other people that wouldn't be possible if he just took it away instantly. So with your woman, with your girl, the daughter of Christ, what you have to do is tell her she's made perfectly in the image of God. Tell her it's okay where she is, but depend on God more. Depend on God more. Seek God more. Once you meet her where she is, figure out her problems. Not demand from her what you want from her, but realize that, hey, I have to humble myself. I have to put myself in her shoes. Once you do that, you then help her find her purpose. One of the best questions I've ever asked anyone, and the question I still use to this day when people are struggling, is what would you do if money didn't exist? And sure, money is very important, but if you had a lot of money, what would you do every day? What would move you? And most people have this answer, and for those who don't, you need to find it. You need to find out about it. But I asked her this question: what would you do if money didn't exist? And that instantly brought this sense of childish joy. That sense of joy that I could see it on her face. She went from miserable to happy almost instantly. And once you help a woman realize what her purpose is in life and help her fulfill it and help her work towards it and help her work towards God and show that you understand where she is, that's God's love right there. God helped us give a mission. God gave us a mission. God humbled himself. And God is helping us towards that mission. How beautiful is that? That we have the power to do that as well. Meet her where she is. Tell her she's perfect in the eyes of God. Tell her it's okay where she is. Help her get out of it. Help her find her purpose. Meet her where she is. That be God's will, not mine.